The year 1966. Barbara Hale and Raymond Burr were wrapping up Perry Mason. Barbara had no way of knowing that the show would last this long. She had young children and didn't want to make a long commitment. Now, Raymond told me that he and Barb weren't sure that the show would last because people really weren't into hour-long dramas back then.
No one knew where television was going or those kind of shows. We were the part of the first of hour shows and first hour drama shows at any rate.
Raymond and Barbara went way back to their RKO days in the 40s. And my new book, the first ever biography of Barbara, Barbara Hale, Destined to be Della, goes even further back, telling the fantastic tale of a small-town girl from the Midwest who became a high school beauty queen and then a gorgeous leading lady at RKO. Barb was perfect. She could play a wholesome all-American girl, or she could be quite sexy. It was at RKO's commissary that she met future husband Bill Williams over coffee. Their engagement made for great publicity, but there was a little problem. Bill was already married. He hadn't told Barbara that, or RKO, or anybody else. He had to quietly get a divorce. From the press coverage, though, you'd think Barbara and Bill were the world's happiest couple. However, as Barbara's fame grew, the problem of career jealousy came in. In fact, during Perry Mason, Raymond tried to help by arranging guest appearances for Bill. Fan magazines picked up on it. People don't know it, but Raymond continued to try to help Barbara by including Bill in his various TV projects as recently as the mid-'80s, when he and I were talking about his then-new Perry Mason TV movies.
The only thing I missed was having Bill Williams, which is Barbara's husband, and that would have been nice, because we have all worked together from time to time. I've known Bill and Barbara since they first met. We were all under contract at RKO.
Bill never did make any of the TV movies. Problems continued with the marriage, and he became a builder. Barbara was devastated when Raymond died. At home, she'd often reminisce about the time they spent with each other, and most importantly, about the time they had together on Perry Mason. Raymond told me he felt the same way. He'd work with Barb on other shows, but to him, she would always be Della.
It was a great joy working with Barbara again on Perry Mason. We have worked together during the years. She was on a couple of the Ironside shows, and we see each other quite often. Have remained very close.
You know, so many of us look back on Perry Mason as a magical time in our lives, and somehow it's comforting to know so did Raymond and Barbara. There's so much more in my new Amazon book, Barbara Hale, Destined to be Della. And don't forget my other Amazon books, Perry Mason, A Love Story, and Remembering Perry Mason with Raymond Burr. With thanks to Veronica Espinoza Paul and Sonia Hill, I'm Brian McFadden.